What's up, my fellow adult collector, and welcome to Civilian Collectibles. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the NECA real toys Tokka and Rahzar, or Rahzar as it's sometimes pronounced, based on their appearance in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. This set was originally intended to be a Walmart exclusive release, but after the debacle with the Casey Jones and Raphael set, NECA decided to pull away from Walmart and sell directly to the consumers themselves on their own website using a made-to-order type system. Interested buyers were given exactly 1 week to place their orders, and according to NECA, that is the exact number they made, and they do not intend to ever release any more. Therefore, if you missed that order window, then your only other option is the secondhand market, and prices have gotten crazy high on there. If this is your first time on my channel, hi, my name is Seville, and here I'd like to discuss action figures and other collectibles based on my favorite movies, TV shows, and video games. If you find this video enjoyable or informative, please give me a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. More often than not, in a 2-pack situation, I typically keep both figures on the screen at the same time. However, because both of these are done so well, I want to give them each their own individual looks, therefore I'm going to start with Tokka. This is another prime example of NECA being able to take something from on screen, shrinking it down, and put it on my desk exactly as it was. I honestly cannot fathom how this could ever be made to look any better than it currently does. Just literally everything, the sculpting detail, the paintwork, everything is as accurate as it could possibly be. Even coming around to the backside with the spikes on the shell. They're kind of sharp, pointy, they bend a little, but not so much that they'll ever be out of shape, I don't think. The only bad thing about this figure, in my opinion, is that with the weight of the shell itself, it does get a little, I guess you'd say, back heavy, and does fall backwards more often than I'd like. The same thing goes for Rahzar. He looks absolutely phenomenal, but the balance isn't quite where it should be, so he does tend to fall over, but not just backwards for him. He can fall forwards or backwards almost just as easily. The main differences between the general designs of the figures comes from the type of animal it is, with Tokka being a snapping turtle. He has the shell for the armor, but he does still wear shoulder pads and knee pads. Rahzar, on the other hand, needed extra armor, so the chest plate, the shoulder pads, the thigh wraps, I guess you'd call them, they're all extra pieces on top of the main body sculpt. The chest plate and chains themselves are loose on top of the figure and can be slightly adjusted. Together, they come with a great array of accessories. Tokka specifically gets his pipe that he used as a bashing weapon in the movie, plus some extra hands. Rahzar gets his shield, a piece of the telephone pole that he ripped down, plus his extra hands as well. The more universal accessories they include are a new TGRI mutagen canister, the box of donuts, including the broken donut that had the cube exposed in it. Finally, there's also the fire extinguisher that was used to activate the anti-mutagen formula in the cube. With the accessories out of the way, now it's time to look at the articulation. If you have Super Shredder, or you've at least seen my video review of Super Shredder, then that gives you a pretty good idea of how these are designed. The primary exception to that description, though, is their faces. Tokka actually gets articulation in the eyebrows. Both figures do have working jaws, plus the front of Tokka's beak opens up a little bit more too. Beyond that, the joints in the head and neck of both figures do offer a wide range of motion in multiple directions. As for the rest of their bodies, both torsos seem to be on ball joints, but Tokka's is hindered by his shell. The shoulders do spin all the way around as well as move outward, but the sculpts of each have different problems hindering that movement. The elbows are double jointed, and each point does have independent rotation. The wrists also have full rotation, and of course the back and forth movement. The hips can kick out sideways pretty far, and while each figure can stand like this, it doesn't last very long in this position. The knees are also double jointed with rotation similar to the elbows, and the ankles do have full range of pivot motion. Lastly, I did want to run these guys through some comparisons real quick, just so you can see how big they really are. Clearly, they tower over Raphael, and even more so over Splinter. Casey Jones is a bit more even with them, but the foot soldiers are a good bit smaller. Finally, the only taller character is Super Shredder himself, so with all that said, it is now time to run Tokka and Rahzar through my guidelines for a complete and fair review. These are brand new sculpts that are highly detailed and beyond incredibly accurate. They are in scale with the rest of the line, they certainly come with plenty of accessories, but they don't quite meet my 25-point threshold for articulation. I do think that the made-to-order price was fair, and I did not have any quality control problems with my set. both figures did end up falling over a bit more often than I would like, so I'm gonna have to knock the balance. And of course, accessibility has to be thrown out the window because they were made to order, and if you did not place that order, you're not going to get it without the second-hand market. Therefore, leading my final score to a 7 out of 10 star rating, meaning they are still amazing and worth owning for all fans of the characters. So, if you can find a good deal in the aftermarket, definitely snatch it up while you can, but I'm not going to suggest paying scalper prices. Either way though, I will say that Tokka and Rahzar are worth adding to your collection.